Welcome back to Wrestling Entertainment Television. I'm Michael Arkham. Along with me, as always, is Reginald Blair. We have a huge main event tonight, a six-man tag match that has implications in the pay-per-view coming tomorrow.
Definite implications for the pay-per-view Seasonal Disorder, which is tomorrow night. If you haven't ordered it, you better order it pretty soon, because the winner of this match tonight gets to call the shot of any title match that he wants, and if the one wins, who's coming down right now, he can decide when he actually defends his title and against whom.
A big advantage that we saw him use to great advantage against Mick this very month.
Oh, definitely. He had sat on that for probably an entire year, putting it off. It was very smart of him, but you know, the contract says that you have to use it before the next Seasonal Disorder, so he used it to great effect on the night that we were actually mourning the loss of our former owner, and as we all saw, Mick did not fare well in that match.
Speaking of somebody that's been faring well lately, here comes Sloth, throwing up the Sloth fingers.
Oh, definitely throwing up those Sloth fingers. You know, the reason he does that is when I first approached him, he thought I wanted him to dress up and actually be a sloth.
I thought it was a Star Trek thing.
No, actually, he's never watched Star Trek in his life, probably. I'm not even sure if he knows what it is. He hates sci-fi.
So he actually thought he was going to be the fuzzy animal.
Yeah, he thought I wanted him to be like Sloth Man or something. And I'm like, no, Sloth, 7 deadly sins, you know, and it took a bit, but... You know, but Gluttony, he was all on board right away.
Gluttony got his gimmick right away.
He came in here with a ham in mouth and 2 pizzas on his left hand, so... We
are getting comic book-like origin stories here tonight. These are huge, as this entire event will be. It is an over-the-top rope single elimination for each competitor. And we have with us, of course, Mick, always one of the fan favorites, always fighting for those top slots.
Definitely going to fight for the top slots. I mean, he did not win it last year, but the previous year he did win it, and he used it to great effect to gain the title for a little bit. From actually the Preacher who held it that previous year.
Of course, we can't talk about the mixed title run without discussing the Preacher. These two are always friends, but are always at each other's backs, pushing each other to be better, pushing each other to always stand tall.
Oh, definitely. I mean, these two came into the company within months of each other. They were rivals initially, then they were tag team partners, and they've been top-notch rivals and competitors, but they have a great deal of respect for each other. And honestly, here's the Preacher right now, and I'm actually a little bit worried about him. He got a concussion after he got hit in the back of the head last week.
That back of the head hit that took him out of a big tag match.
Oh, definitely a big tag match, which, you know, I think Mick and him were really wanting to get in there and actually have a shot at the tag team title. And maybe they might even, if they win tonight, might take that shot back later on.
You think either one of them could give up the shot at the big belt to go for a tag match? I, for one, would love to see the Outlaws have another run as tag champions.
I would love to have the Outlaws have another run. But you know who's really got a lot to prove is FNA Ray, who's just walking down right now. He was voted into this match by the fans.
By the fans indeed. This is his first official televised match in this huge main event. FNA Ray, brother of Babyface, who we saw in competition not long ago. Both of them from Russia. Huge fans of 90s wrestling. You'll see tons of 90s moves and big fandom from both of them, and both of them with a heart that just won't stop.
Definitely doesn't have a heart that stops, and actually his heart might stop if he's gonna get thrown out here. But Sloth, it's saved by a quick move on himself to get out of that grip and not go over the rope. And he's quickly going back against Sloth. He's not backing down at all, and he's really pushing him at that rope.
We have 3 men in bad situations. Maybe Sloth wasn't taking the newcomer seriously enough. I really think he could have just tossed him out right there.
He should have tossed him out, and right over the rope, and he barely catches on. And I think Evan Ray thought he was out, and he was not paying attention, and Sloth's got him into a corner right now. Look at that giant lift from Mick on Gluttony.
Again, Mick showing that he is all strength. He is sinew muscle, and he is speed. And FNA Ray, again, in a bad corner, but fighting his way out.
Oh, the one just went over the rope. Preacher threw him hard into that, and he's struggling on the bottom.
He's struggling.
Trying to keep it. Oh, and he is gone. That is amazing. We would not expect the one to go out that quickly.
I've got to say this. I think the Preacher has his number. I think the Preacher is gunning for him, and I think the Preacher is in his head.
FNA Ray almost loses it right there, but yeah, I do think that the Preacher is after the one. I think that he has been upset that he's not had a shot at the title recently, and he wants it.
FNA's Ray, lack of experience there, a little bit of showboating, calling out his famous FNA to the fans, and he got a knuckle sandwich for it.
Double RKO on the Preacher from Gluttony and Mick. Now that's a weird team-up combination right there.
That is a weird team-up, but there's a reason why there is a snake on Mick's back. He will go at you any way he can, and he will take any advantage he can to win.
Oh, he is going after FNA right now. I actually was wanting to see a couple matches between those two. They're both
I would
brawlers.
really like to see that too. I would really like to see Mick and FNA have a series together.
Maybe we'll have to look into that after Seasonal Disorder. I do have to set up the matches for afterwards.
Those two would... there would be more punches than anything else. And oh my gosh, look at that strength. Look at that strength. We talked again about the Preacher and that extreme upper body strength, that amazing, almost sick upper body strength.
Yeah, and look at this. Sloth and Gluttony going at each other. They have not been pulling their punches. I would have thought they'd be working together, trying to make sure one of them won. Together they probably could clear this ring, but they're focused on each other, and they're letting Mick and Preacher go at each other. And FNA just joins in suddenly, and it looks like Gluttony's in trouble and is out. Oh, did you feel that hit on the ground?
Wow, I thought the ropes were going to break before he got over. But as we said, there are no friends in this event, as you see the Outlaws going at each other.
Yeah, and looks like, Sloth got back in the ring. He was in trouble there, but he's back in. And again with FNA, he and FNA are going at it, and there is no quarter given.
How big would that be for FNA if he could win this? If he could call the shot on the champion?
I don't even know if he knows enough English to call the shot, honestly.
Right now, he is definitely showing us something here.
Oh, the Preacher's over, barely hanging on. Mick really got a good shot in.
Yeah, the Preacher cheats.
Oh, and Preacher is out, and the Mick is showing up. It's like, look at me, I win this time, you don't get it.
This is not the outcome I expected. I did not expect these three men to be the last three in the ring. I've got to think a smart move would be for the two smaller men to gang up on Sloth.
But it looks like FNA has got a thing for Mick right now. He does not want to do it. Sloth is standing back. I think he has a huge shot to win it right now. He's the biggest man. He's strong. He can manhandle any of them. And FNA goes over and wow. He grabs that bottom rope like it was a lifeline. But no, not enough. Not enough. And he is hot. I'm glad he cannot speak English, because some of those words would not be able to be broadcast.
I think all of those words would not be able to be broadcast. And this is huge right here. This is the little brawler versus the giant. This is David and Goliath. This is going to be interesting to see what happens here.
I'm really thinking that Goliath has probably got a stronger chance on this one. I mean, Mick's been fighting. He's not an underdog. Sloth knows his moves. They've fought before. I think that Mick is in trouble.
Mick is in trouble indeed. He's in that corner again. He's going to have to use every bit of his strength.
He's holding on there. I mean, that's a lot of pressure.
He's a nice escaped again.
But no,
but he's in that corner again, where he does not want to be. And bam!
Oh my God!
Wow!
His head hit on the way down, and I think he just couldn't grab it.
I think he bounced. I think he hit so hard that he just flew out without even being ready for it.
That was a huge boot from Sloth, and Sloth is our winner. He now has control of his own destiny at Seasonal Disorder. He can determine who and what he's going after, and I've got to assume that he's going to be going after those tag belts.
They made a great show against the tag champions, and other than that, the only belt he could be thinking about going for would be ones, and that wouldn't be a very, very sound move for the overall standing of your team.
No, it definitely would not be. I expected to go for the actual tag team belt, and then I could actually have my stable holding all belts. But you know who comes out a winner in this? Probably the one.